All right, Rodent Sports back with the last of the series of World Cup qualifying videos. We've saved South America for last because there's a whole lot of crazy things that can happen. Let's get to the stuff we already know. Argentina and Brazil have qualified. Brazil have had a stunning campaign in the qualifying. 12 wins, 3 draws in 15 matches, 39 points, 5 goals conceded, that's it, plus 27 goal difference. Incidentally, Brazil and Argentina had a match that was abandoned due to COVID issues in a very nonsensical situation in Brazil. They could replay that match. I'm not sure why they would, because like Brazil, Argentina's also qualified, having not lost. 10 wins, 5 draws, 35 points plus 16. Just been superb, the Argentinians. And what a couple of years they've had, not only dominating in the qualifying after barely qualifying 4 years ago, winning the Copa America, the South American Confederation Tournament, after losing in it so many times. They finally got the job done, in part behind Aston Villa goalkeeper Emi Martinez. I'm happy to mention since he plays for my team. At the other end, Venezuela's out. They only have 10 points. Paraguay's out. They only have 13 points. And Bolivia's hopes are only mathematical. They only have 15 points. The best they could do would be tie for 5th. That's likely not going to happen.
Finish him off. We have work to do.
So it's between Ecuador in 3rd and Colombia in 7th for the last 2 qualifying spots and the playoff spot. Ecuador is in very good shape. They are 3rd. They have 25 points.
Hey, that's pretty good.
1 win will get them in the World Cup. They are away to Paraguay, already eliminated March 24th. If they win there, they're in. Basically, they're in. If they were to draw, it's likely going to be enough, but you never know. You never know with these things. It would require Peru to win both of their games to overhaul them for that last one, and 2 draws would certainly be enough for Ecuador, as they have a far superior goal difference to Peru. Their last game is Argentina, which is tough, but Argentina's already qualified, so again, you don't know how motivated, what kind of team they're going to play, and all of those things. So I'm taking it as good that Ecuador is going to make it and qualify. So it's really down to Uruguay in 4th, Peru in 5th, Chile in 6th, and Colombia in 7th. For the last automatic qualifier and that playoff spot in the Confederation playoffs. Uruguay heads the pack, 22 points, minus 3 goal difference. They're still finding a way, even with Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani in their dotage. They're finding a way, and they can just about seal it for themselves because they play Peru. What a massive game this is. March 24th. Uruguay v Peru in Montevideo. If Uruguay win that, it's pretty much game over. They're going to qualify. Although they would still have to worry a little bit about Chile. We're going to detail why. That's probably not going to end up being much of a worry. But if Uruguay win that game, then they're likely they're in. They're basically in. But if it's a draw, then it could open some things up. Peru, 21 points, minus 4 goal difference. Peru finishes with Paraguay at home in Lima. You'd really expect them to win that, and that would give them 24 points, which would take Colombia out of it altogether, and mean Chile would have to win their 2 games. So Chile, they do play Uruguay in the last game in Santiago at altitude. So if they can get to the last game with a chance, then all bets could be off. But here's Chile's problem. They have to face runaway leaders Brazil in the Maracanã in Rio. Again, all the provisos, Brazil can play whatever lineup they want. It's not critical for them. They've already qualified, but what a massive mountain to climb. Chilean wins at Brazil are as rare as hen's teeth.
I say that bar's just like a tattoo. Gets under your skin.
You can't imagine. It'd be hard to imagine Chile winning, and that's essentially what they have to do. 1 point there would not be good enough, especially if Peru wins that last game. Chile pretty much have to win the last 2. And the same goes for Colombia also. Colombia does face Bolivia at home. You'd expect them to win that, and that would take them on to 20. And then they get Venezuela away. So again, they thrashed Bolivia in the first game for Jose Peckerman, who was a longtime Uruguayan manager. They thrashed Bolivia and pretty much killed off whatever chances Bolivia had of making the playoffs or even qualifying. But you'd expect Colombia to win that, and again, they have to win it if they get that at 23 points. But then you are relying on results going your way elsewhere, and they need a lot of help. They need Chile not to win their 2 games. They really would need Peru to lose and draw their last 2, and then that would mean Colombia would get the playoff. And again, why is that 5th? I mean, the 5th place, if you're Chile or Colombia and you get 5th place, you'll be thrilled because you'll have made it when you didn't look like you were much of a chance. But if you're Uruguay, Ecuador, or Peru and you finish 5th, the chances are you're going to be disappointed because, again, you're looking at a pretty tough game against the Asian 3rd place winner, which is likely going to be Japan or Australia. I guess it could be Saudi Arabia, but I doubt it's going to be that. And that is, in Doha, 1-game playoff. Anything can happen, but that's going to be a tough road to hoe for the 5th place Asian team to have to play either Japan or Australia, who've been very good the last several qualifying cycles, have qualified for plenty of World Cups. So that race is tough. And again, Uruguay and Peru, it just doesn't get any bigger than that. Almost all the matches are kicking off at the same time. Bolivia does kick off early, so Colombia can at least put a little bit of pressure on the other teams in the playoff and race and in the hunt for the last automatic qualifier if they can do the business at home in Barranquilla against the Bolivians, and you'd expect them to. And of course, you never know if Ecuador somehow get beat at Paraguay, then all of a sudden, that could open things up a little bit for at least for Chile. It wouldn't open anything up for Colombia because Colombia can't catch Ecuador, but you could have a very interesting situation there. So that is South America. Again, unbelievably impressive what Brazil and Argentina have done. They could replay their game with each other that was supposed to be at Brazil. I can't imagine why they would, unless they could do it in June just for the heck of it while the Interconfederation playoffs are going on, and because a game like that might be good for the preparation as you're starting to get ready for the World Cup in November and December of this year. But it's all about that race for that last qualifying spot and the playoff place. And again, 4th versus 5th in that first game, that is absolutely everything. I think, quite honestly, if I can only watch one World Cup qualifying game this entire round, that's probably the choice I would make. Uruguay, Peru, everything is on the line there. And of course, if you're the chasing pack, what you hope for is that you don't get a winner. Because if you don't get a winner, then Colombia, maybe you're a chance. And Chile, if you can somehow pull off a sensational result in the Maracanã against Brazil, you'd be a chance. But if there's any winner in that game is going to hold the whip hand in terms of getting into the World Cup. And in the case of Uruguay, they would get in the World Cup by winning that game. Unless, of course, Chile won and Brazil and won handsomely enough to close the gap on goal difference. And who knows? You never. Again, World Cup qualifying is always full of crazy results.
Am I supposed to be frightened?
And that's why we watch, and that's why it's fun, because the scripts that are written are often not followed. And that's what you find, especially in qualifying processes that are as long as this. Remember, this started in 2020, and that's only because of COVID that it got delayed then. It usually would have started in 2019, the South American process. So it's a long, very arduous process, and a lot of crazy things can happen at times. And that's why I enjoy it so much. So that is it for South America. It's going to be fascinating again. You got that many teams going for only 2 spots essentially, unless something insane happens to Ecuador. And again, Ecuador may very well be able to lose both games and still end up in the automatic spots. That's just the nature of what's going on. But tremendous games with so much on the line in what will hopefully be packed stadiums. I don't know what the COVID situation in some of these countries in South America are, but it will be something. It will be something to watch. So that's it for South American qualifying, and that is it for all the World Cup qualifying videos. We've done a bunch of them. It's weird to be having qualifiers this time of year because normally with the Summer World Cup, we would not only have all the qualifying done, we'd have all the teams drawn, and you probably wouldn't even have an international break now because the next international break would be after the league seasons are over, and it would be to get ready for the tournament. But the tournament is not until November or December, so we have these qualifiers followed by the playoffs in June, and then we'll have the tournament. I don't know if they're going to have friendlies because everybody's going to be in their league season, so I'm not even sure they're going to have friendlies. If they are, they're not going to have much more than one or two leading up to the start of the World Cup in Qatar in November. So that is it. Rodent Sports. Comment, like, share. As always, share it around. We appreciate you watching, and until next time, thank you very much.
That's it. We're done, right?